Hello everyone, Absent Friend here, and we're back to answer more of your questions about Disney Villainous. So stick around because you definitely don't want to miss this. Remember, thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell to be alerted when new episodes are available. Okay, here we go. Our first question comes from @BloodMoon0205. For Prince John, can you attach more than one clever disguise to a hero? Great video, by the way. Oh, thank you. Compliments get you everywhere. And to answer your question, yes, you can attach as many clever disguises to whatever heroes you like in Prince John's realm. Our next question comes from @BoxAR154. I know from a new player perspective, especially when I was starting out, that both active and vanquish actions can be difficult to understand, and I was wondering if you could go over them. I also loved your video. Keep up the good villainous content. Oh, thank you. However, I'm not sure what you mean by active. Did you mean activate? Get back in touch and clarify what you mean, and I'll be happy to answer your question. Our next question comes from @FerrisStar45. For conditions that say if an opponent has 3 items or more, does that include items attached to heroes or the glass slippers? And the answer is very simple, yes. For conditions that have to do with items, that counts all items in the realm, whether they're villain items or fate items. Okay, now we're going to dive into some questions about the Evil Comes Prepared box. Let's start with Ratigan. Our first question comes from @YummyBanana268. For Ratigan, when the card Call for Help is played, can you keep Basil at the same location and discard an item at the location he's already at? Simply put, no. Let me show you. So remember, Call for Help says if Basil is in Ratigan's realm, you may move him to a new location. And then, if we look at Basil's card, it says when he is played or moved, you may discard one item from his new location. So he has to move to a new location to be able to discard an item at that new location. And our next question comes from @InsaneInvasion1. With the Ratigan's Queen's Guard card that's in the Fate deck, I understand that it can only be played in the Palace, but does that mean we can't move it as well? For example, the Queen's Guard is at the Palace already, but you want to place Toby there since he's higher strength and move the card guard to another location. Can you do that? Or does the guard have to stay at the Palace? And the answer is very simple. No, the guards do not have to stay at the Palace. Once they are played to the Palace, then they can move to wherever they want. Our next question is about Scar, and it comes from @PUIUAlexandru7050. When Mufasa is defeated and he has the prophecy attached to him, does it count as 9 to the Scar succession pile? And the answer is very plain. No. Any items that are attached to Mufasa or any other hero that goes into the succession pile are not put into the succession pile. Only the raw hero strength is counted in the succession pile. That's it. No items, no strength boosts, nothing. This next question comes from @AretLager4512. I'm curious, why the graveyard is the feeding ground of choice? Oh, that's a wonderful question. Let's check it out. Since Scar will eventually have to have heroes in his realm to vanquish them for the succession pile, it's best to have them all in one place. And that place for us is the graveyard. The spots they cover up aren't that significant, and you can easily stampede other heroes on adjacent locations into the graveyard for an easy vanquish. And our next question is about Yzma, and it also comes from @PUIUAlexandru7050. Once Kronk becomes a hero by either moving him or by using the fate card the Path of Righteousness, is it really the only way to bring Kronk back to an ally by playing the card Right Hand Man? And the answer is simple, no. You could also vanquish Kronk as a hero using your allies, but that will put him in your discard pile, which then you will have to play Right Hand Man or wait to reshuffle to get him back into your hand anyway. So go ahead and just play Right Hand Man, as it is the best way to get him back on Yzma's side. And our last question comes from @JohnRuggieri9089. Which order should we use heroes to cover her domain locations? Thank you for these great tutorial videos. Well, thank you. Now for Yzma, she is a very different beast than all of the other villains out there. She can only play heroes to the locations of the Fate deck that the Fator chose to look at. So if you want to cover a certain location, you have to use that Fate deck. However, with Yzma, it's not really about covering her locations. It's about keeping certain heroes on the board to keep Yzma from attacking Cuzco. So that's really your highest priorities, keeping Chaka and Tipo out on the board as much as possible. Wherever they might be, it doesn't matter. So that should be your first priority. All other priorities are rescinded. And that's all the time we have for today, apps and friends. We hope you'll enjoy this video, so give it a like and subscribe, and also share it with your friends. If any of our apps and friends have questions about any Disney Villainous villain, or if you want to share a story about a recent Villainous game that you play with your friends, then share them in the comments below, and maybe we'll get to read them out here on the Apps and Friends show in a future episode. Be sure to come back next time, as we will be answering your questions about the Perfectly Wretched box. So until then, this is your Apps and Friend, signing off.